I get a lot of questions on what kind of dry bag that I use to take the HF radio out on the kayak to operate Parks on the Air references with, and so I figured I'd do a quick video to share what bag I use and what my thoughts are on it. When I went into the kayak store here locally in Orlando, I came across a couple of different deck bags, most of them made by Sea to Summit, and this particular one jumped out at me. It's a pretty nice bag. It's a little smaller than I wanted to go with, but it looked like it was made specifically for a kayak with the tie-down straps. Looked like it was going to make it very easy to use. And the dimensions were interior were a 14 by 7 by 4. You know, it looked like a cool bag, and I was considering it. I thought it was pretty pricey at about $100, and that's about what it was in the store. And then I think what turned me away from it was that it has a zipper on the front, and like this picture shows, there's actually a dry bag inside of it, which is kind of inferring, hey, what's inside here will probably get wet. And what I wanted was a dry bag that if I rolled the kayak would keep my radio dry. And so I figured I'd move on from that. So I looked around and I found another bag. This one was made for a paddleboard. It's called a SUP deck bag, and it actually comes with these adhesive pads that you apply to a paddleboard, and then the bag's designed to kind of stay snug with it. But it rolls up like a normal dry bag. You know, I saw the loops on the top and I thought, well, that would be good. I can actually add some additional support and tie down. So I purchased it, and it was about $65 if I can remember. I thought it was pricey, and I didn't know how well it was going to work, but the dimensions were right. And so if I'll scroll down here to the dimensions, it's 15 by 10 by 5, the 12-liter bag, and it was just the right size to put a 1212A Bioenno battery, the FT-891, and an LD-Z tuner. All along with a couple of extra items, a microphone, a headset, and some antenna parts that I didn't want to get wet. So all of that stuff works quite well. And so I'm going to share a quick video here of the bag and talk about it. And so let's see here. So the bag's a pretty thick material, and you know, one of the things that I like to do, or one of the things I noticed was that these clips, these red clips, weren't going to work, and I actually went in and installed plastic clips, and actually created my own little Velcro or a nylon attachment there, so I can tie this down at 3 spots and really snug it tight. One of the things I do after each of the activations is I take the bag and I dry it out, I turn it inside, wash it out if I've been in salt water, I turn it inside out, and I really inspect all of the seams, because that radio, that FT-891 at 100 watts, it gets pretty hot. So I've been kind of inspecting everything. I've got some smudges there from some electrical tape that I use, but it's been holding up quite well. You know, I think I've been out in some cases 45-minute activation with the radio running 100 watts, and I'm running it hard. A lot of heat in there, and I haven't been able to melt through. So comes with a little insert to keep its form. Slides right in. That's held up pretty good too. Was curious about how that would handle with the heat. And there's plenty of extra space in there to get you know, 3, 4, 5 rolls with that. So another bag I've been looking at is this, just a standard dry bag, 20 liter, and so it's much larger than the blue one that you see there. The same material, it looks like it's made well, so I purchased this recently, and I'm going to try to see if I can create a mounting setup for it. Another item is just some of these smaller Sea to Summit, real lightweight dry bags. I use this to kind of hold sometimes antenna parts, or the LDG, recently the LDG antenna analyzer is what I've been using on that. So that's kind of an overview. Thanks, KN4MQR73.